Analysing frames for learning is very much then a case of discovering our assumptions and in some instances uncovering our assumptions. And the reflective practitioner is somebody who is always then questioning assumptions in order to verify the frame that is being used to understand the experience and to learn from experience. Assumptions are then a set of beliefs that we have which give a framework for our actions. For example, if something happens, we have an assumption about something and the result will be another thing. We have an assumption that the result will occur. The possibility for then discovering assumptions by the reflective practitioner means going through quite a careful process of understanding the components of our assumptions. And therefore, this means that what we have to do as teachers is be in a situation where we're comfortable to falsify our assumptions. Or in other words, look at our assumptions and check that they are correct, and to test them to see if they're incorrect. So if a situation, for example, is framed in a particular way, it generates a set of problems within the situation. And it's these problems that we look at as teachers, as reflective practitioners. And it's these problems that we're looking to explore and understand and change. And so the exploration of our assumptions goes some way to helping us frame the problems much more realistically and therefore deal with them much more effectively. And we can put this into diagrammatic form in a very simple way by looking at how problems and situations interact. We can identify one particular problem, but that might actually have a number of causes. There could be one cause, there could be 3, there could be 30 different causes which will create a problem for us. And what we're always asking ourselves as reflective practitioners with this particular problem that we're confronted with is why these particular causes are creating the problem. And that's part of exploring our assumptions about the situation and beginning to identify whether the problem actually is a problem. And what we're also doing is looking at the context and the situation in which the problem occurs, and also how the problem might evolve over time if it's not addressed. And again, that is based in a particular number of assumptions that we have as reflective practitioners. And so we always want to ask the question why a particular problem may evolve into something else into the future. What will it evolve into? And how will we deal with that? So by simply looking at assumptions, we're actually exploring how we're interacting with our experience. And so assumptions then are significant for the reflective practitioner because they are essential for us in terms of understanding the frames that we have for understanding our experience and interacting with the experience. What is the problem? How we actually perceive the problem. This is important because our assumptions may actually identify a problem, may even create a problem that another teacher may actually not perceive as a problem. So our assumptions are very, very significant here because what we want to do is see the real situation, and frames for learning can actually alter the situation so that we perceive it differently. So some questions that we can ask about assumptions and also about the values that we have can be useful at this point in terms of uncovering the assumptions and values. For example, why do you think a problem is a problem? This will help you begin to see the reality of a situation. Which values do you have might be threatened or challenged by an experience that you're having in the classroom? And which motivations are there behind the experience of the situation? By asking simple questions like these, we start to discover the assumptions that we have, and it's through this discovery that we start to become better learners as reflective practitioners.